This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Hannah Green, Noralia, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, Helena Jacobsen, Matthew Mendoza, and Cyndi. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Monica Borg and Kroner24 to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it and could not do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about Chapter 39 of The Towers of Midnight.
Just Towers of Midnight.
Shoot.
Oh, this far in?
I know. Whoops.
Oh, man. Okay, Chapter 39 is In the Threefold Land.
Right, and you have some serious toe.
Why?
Because you said we could cover 2 chapters.
Oh, I did, yeah. Nope, you're right. 100%.
Serious.
This is the problem.
Can I beat you with a belt, or...?
Is that how it works? I have to come to you for it, right?
Oh,
you can't distribute that on your own.
You owe me 1 ice cream cake.
That's not how it works either.
Oh.
No.
Just ice cream. Any ice cream.
Yeah, even the fact that you're telling me that and I didn't acknowledge it, that's a problem.
You acknowledge you have toe.
For me.
To me.
Yeah,
and
but
everybody.
You brought it up. Okay, so this is the real problem, is that at first, based on page count, I was like, yeah, that's doable. But then this chapter is this chapter, but the next chapter is also next chapter, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
No way.
And so, full disclosure, I read both chapters.
Yeah.
Like the next day.
You did.
Because this chapter was like weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I want the next one.
Yeah.
And so I read it, and then you're like, I don't know.
Well, and also, here's the other side of that full disclosure. Full disclosure is we are currently finishing up Season 2 recap episodes for the show, and Season 3 is about to air.
In 10 days.
And we're going to Mexico.
At the end of this month.
At the end of the month. So we have to get episodes recorded in time for us to have still...
So what do you guys want?
Do you want me to go to Mexico and drink margaritas on the beach and be happy? Do you want me to record 2 chapters at one time? Yeah. And I don't want to hear the answer because I think you might say...
Those are the only 2 choices. That's it.
Yeah.
Because we can't record 2 chapters and be happy.
So we're doing 1 chapter. I've done so much Okay, we're doing this chapter.
We're doing the one. We're doing the 1 chapter.
And you can live with that for now.
And you can figure out how you're going to get your G back.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's honor and obligation.
Yeah.
You got it. You're getting it.
Because I almost said it the other way around.
Yeah. Okay. So this fun fact. Okay. I'm also cheating a little bit on the fun fact because it's not going to be a full fun fact.
Oh.
But I can promise.
Oh, no.
I can promise a follow-up fun fact later on at another time of my choosing.
Sure.
Because the fun fact is about Nakomi. Because this is probably known as one of the strangest Wheel of Time chapters.
It's so odd.
And everyone has questions about it. Had questions about it. Still has questions about it.
You know what? I'm going to let you talk.
Okay.
And then I'm going to share my tidbit.
Yeah, okay.
About this.
So this is the thing. After this book was released, the internet basically exploded with theories and ideas about who Nakomi is and like what the heck is going on in this chapter.
And at this point in the series,
there's so much strange
stuff. When we get
stuff.
Something new and strange,
when
we're trying to just wrap up the 1,000 pieces in this plot line,
it adds layers of what the heck is happening here.
It's land fear. I already figured it out. But,
really?
But go ahead.
Oh, interesting.
No, I'm just joking.
One of my parts of my fun fact, not land fear.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
No, not actually. But okay. So I'm going to preface this fun fact by saying there is a general rule in Wheel of Time that we have, is that if something is super weird and things are strange, you have to ask yourself, is it a dream?
Oh.
Because, like, we're going to point out some things. You know what?
That's actually, I didn't think of that. Okay.
There's a few things, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to point out some things. I'm not going to be giving you any definitive answers, but I'm going to rule out a few things based on some interviews with Brandon Sanderson about this chapter. So one of them is a question that was posed. Was the stone that Avienda apparently having fell asleep at, was that stone a portal stone?
Yeah.
So then did she get transferred to another realm? Because she does set up her camp next to a tremendous stone. Interestingly, Brandon Sanderson said, no. Nice try, but I'm going to rule out that one theory.
Okay,
it wasn't a portal stone.
Because this chapter does give the vibes of Rand in the portal stone world.
A little bit.
When he got his brand.
Yeah.
That whole, like, there's, like, mist and, like, weird stuff happens.
It's kind of weird.
And he's kind of dreaming, but he's, like, also in this other world, so we don't know.
And kind of falling asleep.
Yeah,
Is he kind of channeling? Like, we don't know.
We don't know what's going on.
Apparently,
it does give that vibe.
Yeah, and that stone apparently not a portal stone.
Not a portal stone.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to rule that one out. And then some of the theories that came up were also kind of revolving around the fact that there were some timeline issues on early editions of the book. So, for example, some characters were seeing the clouds parting and the light prior to Rand having his epiphany on Dragonmount.
Okay.
So there were some timeline issues. So some people had some theories based on timeline stuff.
Because in this book, we did jump around timelines.
Exactly. So there was a ton of questions and different variations of this question. So some of them were like, do we see Varen in Towers of Midnight? Does Varen show up in Towers of Midnight? How much time passed between Varen's meeting with Matt and her death? And then lastly, is Nakomi actually Varen in disguise?
Oh, weird.
So one of them like time, because Varen had a bunch of meetings, she had to go talk to a bunch of people. And some people had the idea based on timelines, like maybe this was Varen.
Okay, but
definitively,
no,
we're going to rule that out.
That didn't even.
Well, I know timelines don't line up for that. It's kind of like the whole Oliver as Guidal Kane. Cool theory. Timeline doesn't work out, so it's a no. So I'm just going to roll with that stuff. So that's why I said I'm kind of cheating on this fun fact. That's all I'm going to say on this topic, but I definitely want to dive into the details on this chapter because of the strangeness.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Yeah, okay.
Now, another side note. When we get introduced to this random character who says, call me Nakomi.
Oh, yeah.
I was like...
Very, I said I
weird,
like. Yeah.
But also very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's someone with a social media handle called Call Me Nakomi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those ones that I think you saw very...
I would say, go check it out. It doesn't even seem like specifically Wheel of Time related. Like, Call Me Nakomi likes Wheel of Time.
Okay,
clearly.
Okay. But not specifically
then started a podcast that talks about all kinds of things.
That's so funny.
And also broke down and reviewed the show.
Okay, well, perfect.
As part of it. So I was like, I know I've seen this before.
This series of words. Like, what's happening? It's, again, it's one of those iconic chapters in Wheel of Time that you have now crossed over. Mm. This is actually like a pretty big one. It didn't make my list of like almost favorite chapters.
No, because it's so weird. It's no one's favorite.
Well, and we get no clarification on events in this episode.
It would have been so much better if it just like kept going.
Right. It's so brief.
And then like something happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I said I can give you a...
I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I was like, yes! Avienda! We're going to Ruidian!
Not yet! Not yet. We have to get there.
And which was fine, but I thought we would...
Yeah.
I thought this was the journey, and then we'd get there.
Yeah, I can understand.
And then maybe we're like about to start the journey, you know?
I don't want to... You should know better. You should know better by now.
We're so close to the end!
Yeah.
And it had been so long.
Right.
But yeah, I was fooled.
Okay.
So, chapter 39, in the Threefold Land, because that's literally where we are.
Yeah, we are.
And that's what happens.
Yep.
Now, the chapter symbols, the Aes Sedai shield and spears, because...
Nope.
What did I say?
You said the Aes Sedai shield and spears.
Aiel? Yeah, right.
Which, is
Aes
cool.
Sedai do not have shield or spears, because they don't believe in physical weapons.
Or do they?
No, they don't.
Okay, no, they don't.
Aiel, shield, and spears.
Uh-huh.
And we're starting in an Avienda perspective. She's making her way through the waste to Ruidian. And I was like, yes, you go, girl. I haven't seen you in so long. I miss you so much. What are you up to? How are things going?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. She decided to take a detour, so she...
No. She didn't detour.
Well, it's kind of a detour.
No. She gatewayed herself into the Threefold Land.
Yeah.
but not directly into Ruidian.
Would that not be a detour? A detour
No.
is not a direct route, isn't it?
It's still on the way, though. A detour is like if you're on the way and then you're forced to take a different route. That's not this.
Okay, I looked it up. A long or roundabout route that is taken to avoid something or to visit something along the way. I would say she's visiting the waste along the way.
But
boom, detour.
I don't think she's going out of her way in any way.
Doesn't say out of the way. If you're going in a direction to visit something along the way.
But it's the same direction.
She's visiting the waste. It's a detour. We can move on from this part.
Fine.
Just say, Brett, you're right.
No, we'll never.
Not going to happen.
Not
okay.
at this time.
I will quit this series. I swear. I will do it.
Won't say it.
Okay. All right. So we also get some flexing with the Aiel names of things because...
Oh, there is some flexing of that. Where I was like, okay, I
we
get
have
it.
the lethal snake beneath the Nadra scrub, which is a plant. And then she collects some dead tack brush and some Inata bark for the fire.
And then she murders a shellback.
A little one. Previously, she murdered it, and now she's cooking it. But I thought turtle, but she skins it. Would you skin a turtle?
No, but maybe. Maybe that's what you have to do. You have to skin it.
Maybe.
Because it probably has, like, rough skin.
I don't know enough about eating turtles.
Listen, even if you catch a snake, you got to skin it.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Because you got to get to you eat the muscle.
Right. Okay, maybe.
Of animals.
Maybe it's a turtle.
But then I was like, giant snail.
Giant snake.
Because that also is an animal with a shell on its back.
I like that too. Okay.
Usually likes water though. You don't get a lot of snails in the desert.
Tortoise?
You do get turtles in the desert. Because the other one is crab.
Right. Not that.
3 animals that exist with shells on their backs.
Okay, that's it.
2 of them are waterbound.
Right.
Or like water.
Well, tortoises can live in the desert, right?
Exactly.
Maybe?
That's the only one that doesn't.
Okay. Just a little one though.
A little shellback.
I don't know. We can move on from this too.
Can we? Because this is my favorite part of the chapter.
That's
Because I
rude.
really every time she says shellback, I'm like, ooh, it's got to be a turtle, right?
It does. She does say it like 3 or 4 times because it's like she's cooking it, she's sharing it, it's ready. It's like,
yeah. We're eating it.
Yeah.
Shellback.
Yeah.
And that's when I racked my brain. I was like, or snail.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't skin a snail.
I wouldn't either. Yeah,
But I would probably skin a turtle. I wouldn't be happy to do it.
If it's that or not eat. Okay. Now can we?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So she's in the threefold land again. She feels good about it. Yeah,
feels
it's not
right.
It's not like the wetlands, not because it's not safe. It's definitely not safe here, but at least she understands it better than the wetlands because that is a confusing place.
She does not like dealing with all the people and all their peopleisms.
People just take baths and they dunk themselves in water, and that can't be healthy. There's no way.
Even though she did like it.
Partake.
She did like the luxuries.
She knows she did, but that's the issue.
That's Elaine's fault, though.
Yeah, a little bit. But finally it's nighttime, and she can set up camp.
Near a giant...
tremendous stone. That is not a portal stone. But this is like one of the first indications.
I didn't even think of that.
I know. That's why I was okay ruling it out. I was like, there's no way that's going to be like a theory, is that it's a... That, I feel, is reaching for... Because it's not described as a portal stone that we know of. And it's like portal stones weren't necessarily humongous.
No, and I don't even know what happened with that portal stone that Rand fell asleep on. Wasn't that a Lanfear thing?
Yeah.
Didn't Lanfear send him?
It's definitely possible.
Using the portal stone?
Yeah.
Because Lanfear and Ishamael were there.
Yeah.
And someone in the camp, I don't remember whose perspective we were in.
Yeah.
Glanced over and saw a lady and a man.
Right.
And then was like, that's weird. And like went back to sleep.
Okay. Not the chapter we're working on right now.
I want to go back to that though.
We can
That
later.
sounds interesting.
Okay. So let's set up camp. Let's get this shell back cooking because we got to get the food cooking here.
Delicious.
Right?
Turtle stew.
Yep.
No, it's not stew. Turtle stew is a book, I think. Like a children's book. Turtle soup?
We're really
turtle soup.
We're really
turtle
unfocused
soup.
right now.
Can
we get a little focused?
Fine, and then I'll tell you more about turtle soup later.
Okay, so she's considering how she used to be a maid in the spear.
And she's accepting that she's not any longer.
Exactly. She's going to be a wise one.
Yep.
And then, this is the kind of overarching theme of the chapter, she thinks about what happens to the Aiel after all this is done.
Mm-hmm.
So after everything is done, the Aiel need to return to the waste.
Okay.
All right, so now we can kind of move into the next sequence of events here.
Right. And even though she's saying that, like, I know she's thinking it to herself, like she's trying to convince herself of that.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, wholeheartedly believe her that she feels that all the Aiel need to go back to the waste when this is all over.
Yeah, part of her argument to herself is that the wetlands make you soft and weak. Mm-hmm. And then look at herself becoming soft and weak. How could you not be weak living in the wetlands?
Yeah.
It's like, look at Avienda,
it's
so
almost
soft.
like she's, like, mad at herself.
I mean, she has been for a while.
A little self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, that's kind of the idea for her right now because of the self-inflicted negative talk.
Fair. So she's like, okay, all will be fine once we get back here.
Exactly.
And, like, will it?
Yeah. But, that's a fair question.
Yeah.
And we'll dive into that with the Nakomi conversation.
Okay. Now, this next part, I wanted to go back and read.
Okay.
Because when you said, oh, is this a dream? Is this in the dream world? Like, I hadn't considered that.
Yeah.
But probably mostly because I missed this one sentence.
It's a teeny tiny one, but it's like really critical to trying to if you're trying to figure out what's actually happening.
Okay.
And for the record, I'm not saying it's a dream because it's also not clear.
But I'm going to speculate on my feelings at the end of this. So she's thinking, oh my gosh, I grew so soft in that place. Who wouldn't grow soft there? It has to be abandoned because we have to be hard. And then she smiled, settled back, and closing her eyes for a moment, letting the day's fatigue melt away. Her future seemed so much more clear. And then, blah, 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 a sound came from outside her camp.
Yeah. So that's like the indication that it's like, did she fall asleep in that moment?
And this is a dream.
And it's a dream. Like, what happened there? Or is it not that?
Because she has been running all day.
Yeah.
She got back to her running routes.
And the wetlands made her soft, and now she's too sleepy after running all day. She can't run as long as she used to, probably.
I kind of like this theory. I like it. I like the theory that I'm going to have this conversation and go through these plot points as if this is a dream, and I'm going to see if this makes more sense.
Okay. We can do that. That's fine.
Because it does, at this point, feel dreamlike. Like, I didn't consider that.
Which is, okay.
At all.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I like it better as a dream. But, okay. So, a sound comes from outside her camp, and she jumps up and embraces the source and weaves a ball of light. And then she secretly is, like, proud of herself that that's a natural instinct now at this point.
Well, doing the light, the weaving, versus, like, going for spears. That is good, because it's way more powerful. But also, which is odd with the whole, is it a dream thing? She thinks, like, why didn't I hear that woman approaching?
I would have.
I would have heard, and that just leaves the credibility.
Unless, here's the thing.
Yeah.
She fell asleep.
Yeah.
Missed the sounds of the woman approaching, and then she was woken up by this woman. That's the other
That could happen
option.
too. Okay, let's describe this woman now.
Okay. Middle-aged.
Mm-hmm.
Standing there in Aiel clothes.
Yeah, so not Kedinsor, like Aiel battle garb.
And not Wise One robes.
Yeah.
Just a regular old Aiel middle-aged lady.
Yeah. No weapons, which is okay, I guess.
And Avienda looks around and is like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Is she a ghost?
Avienda thinks it might be a ghost. Like, that's a theory, too.
Yeah. Is this an ambush?
Yeah. Apparently not.
Yeah. And then the woman greets Avienda and calls her a wise one.
Yeah.
Basically, I guess because of what she's wearing?
Potentially, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, she also just, like, wove balls of light.
Oh, that's true.
Like, if she's doing magic, that's what wise ones can do.
Yeah, it didn't throw her off at all.
Yeah. But I mean, again, there's some things
that are weird things.
It's just like a little bit off. It's just things are a little bit off.
That's how I felt this whole time, and I was like, if something feels off,
something's off.
Quacks like a duck, walks like a duck.
Yeah, talks like a duck. It's probably a duck.
Probably a duck.
Probably talking duck.
Yeah, my dad's favorite joke is that same joke, but like about poop.
Oh, okay.
Smells like poop, looks like poop, tastes like poop, probably poop.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. I like that.
He'll like that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You don't expect that last part.
No, you don't, because it's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if it feels off, it's probably off. That's the meaning.
Yeah. So Avienda corrects her on the Wise One thing and says not yet because she's currently on her second trip to Ruidian.
A lot of information for the stranger, Avienda.
Right? It is a lot of information.
I
am Randall Thor from the Two Rivers.
No, I'm Avienda.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally...
Well, that's,
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Okay.
And now she's like, oh, those wetlands made me so skittish of everyone. This lady, she doesn't even have weapons.
Got nothing here.
Yeah, so come sit at my fire. And then she's like immediately upset with herself.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh man, I really wish I didn't. Because now I have to share my food.
And my water. I don't have a lot of water, but you can nod and give them water.
Yeah.
Maybe give them fire.
It's a whole thing.
It is.
This is the most human feeling of anything.
It's like if you're eating lunch alone and then you invite someone and you're like, oh no, I actually want to just look at my phone for half an hour.
I just wanted to sit by myself.
Yeah, shoot. Okay.
Or you're like, no problem, you can sit at the other side of this table that I'm not using, but then they start talking to you the whole time.
It's like, that wasn't part of the original agreement. No, Nakomi, don't start asking questions. But talking about oversharing too, because Avienda also ends up telling Nakomi about her apprenticeship because Nakomi's like, how is that going? And she's like, oh man, it's too long, but mostly because I'm too stubborn. Like, she's going way too much in detail with this total stranger about her Wise One apprenticeship, which I have to assume is, like, I don't know, is that like just open for conversation topics? Like, what's happening? Yeah.
Anyway, we skipped over the part where the woman says, call me Nakomi.
Call me Nakomi.
And I mean you no harm.
Phew.
Good then.
Wait, because if you do mean me harm, you have to tell me.
Tell me. It's the law.
Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have Nakomi taking out the stuff for the tea because she's going to provide the tea stuff.
Yeah. And right away I'm like, no, don't drink the
spooky tea.
Does it taste like mint?
Whoa.
Uh-oh. And I'm like, is this a Forsaken? Like, what's going on, actually?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's so weird and spooky.
It is a little spooky. Yeah.
And then they start asking about Rant. So I'm like, oh, God,
man,
I hate this person so much.
Yeah, like the next question after how's it going? So how about that Karn guy?
Did you go find him?
Did you find how's that guy? What's he like?
You're in the middle of the waste right now, but why wouldn't I ask you about?
Yeah, it's like, oh, were you one of those people who went that way, and then now you're coming back?
And now you're back.
Okay, cool. So he is the Karn, not just that guy who calls himself the Karn. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, I didn't say he wasn't.
And Nakomi sounds amused.
Yeah.
So I was like, Lanfear?
Okay. So is that like a real, like, are we, but like, why? Lanfear is on a real.
Who's Avienda?
Oh, man. Right?
Avienda's about to get murdered by fake Lanfear.
If it was,
fake
then
Nakomi
don't
Lanfear.
you think something would have happened?
Yes.
Right.
But maybe she's playing the long game.
Maybe.
Finding out some information.
Maybe.
Lanfear style.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't just strike right away. Like when she was Keeley, she wandered around.
I don't know. She skinned that dude pretty quick.
Oh, in that moment, yeah.
Right.
But now she's got a plan, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And we haven't seen her. We don't know what she's doing.
Okay. So that's like a maybe idea?
I actually was just joking.
But now you're like...
when I said that at the top of the episode.
Okay. Now you're like, maybe.
Who else?
It's not a no. Okay. I get it.
It's not a no. It's honestly not.
Okay. So let's keep diving in this conversation. So Nakomi says, well, what do you think of the Karn? And Avienda doesn't say
she loves him.
She loves him. Doesn't
Which is
say
like
that.
phew, because like that's how you get murdered.
Phew,
by
if I
Lanfear.
didn't share that one piece of information, it's like, good job.
He has much honor, even if he's dumb.
He's learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nakomi's like, are the wetlands glorious?
Mm-hmm.
And
not glorious.
Says, no, I hate that place.
Dangerous and make us weak.
It sucks. And then finally, Avienda starts wondering, who the heck is
Wait
this lady?
Wait a second.
Yeah. Something seems weird here.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a couple of things going on here in the background that's kind of odd. So
glorious.
That's glorious, not glory.
Yeah.
Well, that's close.
That's Lanfear's thing.
She likes it, but she likes glory, not gloriousness.
Is it glorious?
Okay.
No.
I want to point these things out to you.
Too late.
Not even listening to the rest of it.
It's clearly the dream world, and it's clearly Lanfear. Like, there's nothing else that it could be at this point.
Right. You really got to watch the words being used here. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, jeez.
This is the best. I thought this was going to be really boring and stupid. Turns out this is the best thing.
Turns out everyone is Lanfear is always applicable.
Turns out this is the best thing since Timandred.
Okay. All right.
I love this so much.
Can I?
Okay, go on. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So Avienda's thinking a couple thoughts. It's not unusual to find Aiel traveling, but shouldn't Nakomi be with like family or friends? And she's not wearing wise one clothes, but she thinks that there's something about Nakomi.
That's super weird.
That's like,
yeah, we should
something.
Be weird. This is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nakomi is stirring the tea and repositioning the food over the fire, and then Avienda notices that the fire's grown a lot warmer than she realized, and then where did all the coals come from? Like, time has passed, and there's like 2 instances where she's like, whoa, I didn't think that much time had actually passed.
Or like, what's going on here? Because clearly magic is happening.
It's something.
It's almost like if we're in the dream world and we just believe that there are coals.
Right.
And they show up.
And then it just happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Got to will it into existence. Okay. Yeah. So now Nakomi is pretty worried about Avienda because she seems worried. So now Nakomi's like, hey, what's wrong? And this is actually a very serious topic too. Like, this is a pretty big topic, and it's like it's pretty hard.
About the future
of the Aiel? Yeah. Like, I do want to talk about that because, yes, Avienda is really sticking on the whole, the wetlands make us soft. Like, that's the part she's focusing in on.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's her own insecurity.
Yeah, but the issue is that Nakomi is pointing out that the wetlands are a part of the Aiel destiny because that's part of what the Aiel are literally like there for as a people. Their link to the Kara means that they're linked to the wetlands, and then Nakomi gets into the philosophy of the threefold land and why it's called that.
Because it's a punishment, and then once you serve your punishment, do you really have to stay in your prison?
Yeah, so it's basically punishment for the sin, tests your courage, forms an anvil to shape you. So it's like you were in the threefold land so that you can be strong enough to go to the wetlands and do what you need to do. And then after that it's done, why do you need to go back to...
Why do you have to be the strongest?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the big philosophical overtone of this chapter.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's kind of making Avienda think about it more than just like wetlands bad, must go back to the waste, you know? Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. And then Avienda starts asking some actual good questions after sharing so much information and having deep philosophical conversations.
Do you have any ID with you? Can you show me that you are,
Where
in fact?
are you traveling to and where are you from?
Why does your ID say McLovin? It's either that or Nakomi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nakomi says some weird things.
It's like, hey.
I am far from my roof, yet not far. It's like a riddle.
Oh, it
yet
is.
Not far at all. Perhaps it is far from me. I cannot answer your question, apprentice, for it is not my place to give this truth.
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell? What kind of answer was that to where are you from and where are you going?
Yeah. Where'd you come from? Where did you go?
Where'd you come from?
Nakomi.
Nakomi. You crazy old Nakomi.
She's not old. She's middle-aged.
Yeah, that's true. She is middle-aged. Okay. Yep. All right. So that's the issue. Like, it's a crazy answer to a simple question that only asks more questions now about who she is and, like, what is this?
And then Nakomi says, it seems that by breaking our ancient oaths to do no violence, our people have gained great toe.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So let's talk about more philosophy stuff.
Yeah. So there must be some way for the toe to be met, and that purpose is like serving the Kara. And then Avienda says the Aiel will meet their toe by fighting in the last battle, and then that is how they can potentially regain their honor.
And then this is where we talk about, well, then if you meet your honor, then why do you need to continue to be punished in the threefold land?
Why do we come back here?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a good question because
she's like, this is where I'm from and I like it here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's also like, that's their entire way of life. And then it's asking the people to abandon their way of life. But I do want to point out, what did the prophecies say about Rand breaking the Aiel? It's like only a remnant of the Aiel would survive.
Remain, yeah.
But it's like, what does that really mean? Is it just like what they were before will survive? Will the Aiel change into something? Like, what comes next for the Aiel as a people? Because everything they are and have done so far has been preparing them to be the people of the dragon.
Man.
Right? If philosophically,
Lanfear
it's a big
some
question.
Tough questions.
She does, right? And she's really concerned about the Aiel.
Yeah.
You know?
Which makes me think this might not be Lanfear.
I'm starting to think someone's overly concerned here. Yeah, she brings up good points.
Are there any Forsaken who really love Aiel culture and love the Aiel?
I'm going to go with
No.
no.
Because they all...
They were servants. Like, maybe Asmodean? Maybe?
Yeah.
But only in
But
like a
almost
you
all
were
of
really
them
good
have-
servants kind of way?
Yeah, almost all of them have made some sort of comment about how it's crazy the journey they've gone on.
Yeah.
The people they've become.
Like, fair.
But
yeah.
also, we know dark friends among the Aiel do exist.
That's true, too.
And so there could be some higher ranking ones, especially if they're dreamers.
Okay.
So maybe...
Do you think Nakomi's an evil person? Like, is that the vibe you're getting?
I'm getting the vibe that it's weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
Weird doesn't mean evil.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't always.
Why would something super weird happen if it wasn't nefarious?
Because.
No.
It's not a good enough answer. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No matter what, this is weird and nefarious. Whether it's Lanfear or whether it's just some odd dark friend dreamer.
Yeah.
Because she does.
But if it was a dark friend, wouldn't something more evil happen? Like,
no,
she has a very philosophical conversation with Avienda and then disappears.
Yeah, well, because we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Dark friends are just people. Like, Black Aja have their own reasons for wanting to do things. And so maybe this is a really important topic.
Right.
That Nakomi majored in.
Okay.
Doesn't get a chance to talk about it very often.
I wrote my thesis in this and nobody is reading
Nobody cares. And so now we get to talk about it, but also fact-finding mission.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe a trap is being laid. You know, like the long game.
Yeah, I get it.
No matter what, this is weird.
Okay, so back to the conversation now. So Avienda is pushing back against the idea... Like, internally, she's not really saying it, but she feels like the Aiel belong in the Threefold Land. But then we have Nakomi saying, well, the people of the dragon, serving the dragon, that was the point. Everything we did, our customs, our raids, our training. So once Sightblinder is defeated, what's left for us?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe, what?
What if an Aiel from the Age of Legends also went to the dark side? And was imprisoned, and this is like an Aiel from that time,
for like an old Age of Legends style
Age of Legends Aiel, who's somehow it's like a Aiel Forsaken.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm trying really hard.
Yeah,
here
you really on the whole evil train.
Well, it's gotta be.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess didn't
trust my gut.
Yeah, okay.
I trust my gut on this one.
Okay. So yeah, so it's just a reiteration of like, why continue the old ways? If this is going to be the end of it, like, why can't this be the end of our current ways? What's next? So Avienda doesn't have an answer, and then Nakomi apologizes for rambling and says, "Let's eat."
Yeah, delicious turtle.
Yeah, but there's no way that it could be ready now.
Oh yeah, takes so long to cook turtle.
Probably, but hey, it's ready.
Ooh, sounds like
Spooky.
A dream to me.
Whoa.
Sounds like a dream to me. I just decided.
The food is ready.
It's ready.
And it's so delicious. It's the most delicious thing she's ever eaten.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part of all of this.
Well, no, okay. I think she said maybe...
And she sprinkles some seasoning on it. Okay, so I'm like wary of the tea.
Yeah.
I'm wary of the sprinkling of seasonings that taste better than anything we've ever eaten.
Right.
It's just drugs.
Well, okay.
If this isn't a dream and Nakomi's actually here, then she's just drugged her.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
I don't know. There's nothing good. Nothing good can come.
Well, it ends on a great note. So Nakomi's like, "Hey, I gotta go take care of nature. It's bathroom stuff. Interesting."
When you say more bathroom stuff.
Yeah, we recorded a previous episode that had bathroom stuff in it.
About the show, yeah.
About the show, yeah. Interesting. Okay. So she shuffles off and leaves, and Avienda sits and eats. And she's thinking about the purpose and the future of the Aiel now, because that's an important topic. And then, after she finishes eating, she realizes Nakomi hasn't come back yet. And weird. She's like, it's been a long time. This is weird. And she goes to look for her, but she can't find any trace of Nakomi. And then when she comes back to her camp to the fire, Nakomi's pack and her plate are also gone. And she waits for a while.
Go?
Nakomi doesn't come back. And eventually, Avienda goes to sleep feeling troubled. She's seeing to nature.
Yeah, but then everything's gone. It takes off.
It's something.
Disappears.
Something.
Something weird.
One of the
going
weirdest,
on here.
strangest chapters.
It is weird, especially because that's just where it ends. And now
that's it.
I'm concerned, based on your fun fact,
right,
that we're not going to get an answer by the end of this book.
Oh, okay. I'm not even going to say that you're going to get a satisfactory answer
ever.
Fun fact, right? That's might not be the answer you want.
Yeah. I just Googled turtle soup, by the way.
Okay. Give us those details, and then we need to end this.
So lots of recipes.
Sure.
And then why did people stop eating turtle soup?
There were better options.
Well, and it put an unsustainable strain on our turtle population.
That's fair.
Okay. Now, there's a trading strategy called turtle soup, and it's a strategy based on trend following, but which only trades on false breakouts and short-term reversals.
I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah, I'm not a... There are several books called Turtle Soup, but I don't know what I was thinking of. John's Turtle Soup is a children's book. Nope, I don't know.
Okay,
anyway,
that's it. We're done now.
Good thing I'm so good at knowing what things are.
Yeah.
This whole thing made me just question everything.
You know what? A weird ending to a weird chapter.
So weird.
That's the way to do it.
All right. Well, before things get any weirder around here, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Hey, thanks so much for sticking around. That's the end of another fun episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, Gabby Young, Rycat, Zane Sayaka, Matrix, Matt Truss, The Albatross, Bratimus Prime, Chris G, Sarah Creech, Sims, and Saverio Bartolini. With music by Audionautics. Now, everyone, please be sure to go check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon-exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And, at the time of recording, we have almost 50 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. As always, please be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. For general information about our show, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.